There is a rumor now going out there that LeBron James disrespected Larry Bird in the All-Star game locker room last year. This rumor was leaked out to Stephen A. Smith. According to Stephen A. Smith, last year, Dr. J and Larry Bird went into the locker room for both teams for the All-Star game last year. They tried to give an inspiring speech to get all these guys to play hard in the All-Star game, to be competitive. And according to Stephen A., that it was working out pretty well for the most part, up until there was one superstar that rolled his eyes sideways at Larry Bird and Dr. J when they were giving that speech, and he just looked at them in a disrespectful way, like basically implying like, I don't give a shit what you had to say, it doesn't mean anything. And this superstar had a lot of credibility in the locker room, and it pretty much killed the vibe once he gave that look and he looked down on them just like they were nothing. Now, what we know, what is true about this is that it was only Larry Bird, Reggie Miller, and Oscar Robertson last year that went inside the locker room for both teams to give them a speech. It wasn't Dr. J, so that's been corrected. But we cannot confirm or deny this rumor. Just that Stephen A said that there was one superstar that just rolled his eyes at those guys, and that player has a huge impact on the rest of the locker room. And after that, all the other stars followed his lead, basically not to try hard or give a shit. Now, I think we all know he was implying LeBron. There's only one of two guys that have superstar status. And I'm saying that loosely because LeBron, in my eyes, is no longer a superstar as a player. I would say as a personality, just as someone who's marketable, off the court, I would say he's still a media superstar, yes, but actually as a player, I disagree with that, but I get what Stephen A is saying. Now, there's only one of two superstars, like I said, that I believe could have done that. It's either going to be LeBron James or it's going to be Kevin Durant, because Kevin Durant is also very disrespectful like that and very childish. I would say it's one of those two. And in this scenario, I can eliminate Kevin Durant. I'm just going to say he didn't do it simply because I've heard Kevin Durant speak highly of Larry Bird in interviews in the past. I remember many years ago when Kevin Durant wanted to be part of this elite club called the 50-40-90 Club. For those of you who don't know, that means 50% shooting overall from the field, 40% shooting overall from three-point range, and 90% shooting from the free throw line. And you had to do that for a whole entire season to be part of the 50-40-90 Club. He mentioned Larry Bird as one of those guys that inspired him to be part of that club, that he respected his work and he wanted to be part of that elite club. So I don't think it would have been him, since he's spoken highly of Larry Bird before in previous interviews. And that leaves me to only LeBron, because when you're looking at the other superstars in that locker room, it would be Giannis, Jokic, SGA, and I don't think that it's in those guys' personalities to be like that. I just can't see them doing that. They're foreign guys. Those guys tend to be humble, especially when it comes to veterans and elders and whatnot. I just don't think it would have been them. So who else could that have been then? Just like, unless Stephen A is throwing the word superstar around loosely, I just think the only other guy I can think of on the top of my head that it has to be a guy who has a lot of influence. Well, it can't be a young guy like I think a Ja Morant or somebody. So a guy who has a lot of influence in the locker room, that's a superstar. I'm going to say it is LeBron James that did that, who disrespected Bird. But it doesn't shock me. I think LeBron doesn't have respect for anybody, really, just for the most part, except himself. Just the only guy I think LeBron would give respect to, and that would be begrudgingly, would be someone like Michael Jordan, or even a guy like Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, who's won more than him. He can't really openly disrespect those guys in the sense, because he knows they have the ring count on him and they have other stuff, accolades on him. They even have more MVPs than him, league MVPs, that is, that just, he can't be outright disrespectful to those guys. So I think those are like the only two guys that he wouldn't be able to get away with. But for the rest of these guys, I think LeBron definitely feels for sure he's better than them. Not to say he doesn't feel like he's better than Michael or Kareem, but it's kind of like he knows that unfortunately he doesn't, well, I won't say unfortunately, I say fortunately for us, he doesn't have the accolades to pass those two other guys up like he does with other for most NBA players now. But I think in his mind, he feels that Bird is nothing compared to him, that Bird is second rate, that he passed Larry Bird a long time ago in the all-time rankings, that he has more championship rings than him, he has more MVPs to him. But in my eyes, I still believe it's a lot closer than people are willing to give credit for, only because I have never taken that 2020 championship seriously from him. That bubble championship was garbage. It's a farce of a championship. It's as legit as a NBA 2K championship that I could win on 2K. That's the way I view it. So, but I know many people are going to say 4 greater than 3, but in my eyes, to me, Larry Bird's 3 equals LeBron's 4, because that fourth one is complete garbage. And you can make the argument that they're very close. I would say LeBron barely edges him just because he has like one more league MVP than him. And you can say LeBron's prime was better defensively, but it's very close where LeBron is not like miles. I would say miles ahead of him. So I think they're very close. That's my opinion. But to disrespect someone that, in my eyes, that you're very close with when it comes to legacy of the game, to me, that just shows, again, it's all about him. He's a narcissist. He thinks he's above the game. He's above and beyond. And that no one is ever worthy of his respect, but everybody has to give him respect. So that's typical narcissist behavior by him, but I'm not surprised if any of this is true.